Hey, beautiful people. My name's Kristen. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Thank you especially because I have been just away for a long time. I was traveling. I had a very heavy workload period of time at the end of the school year, wrapping up time period. And then I got really sick and I was really just, even as I started to feel better, it comes across on filming, like as I'm talking to you, that if I don't have my energy or I don't feel good, then it just doesn't make for a good video. I've discovered, that just, I want to bring you my best. I want to bring you my energy, my enthusiasm, my true feelings. And so I am back. And in the meantime, I've been reading. So there were 21 books that I have read since my last filming, but I don't want to film reviews of all of those. I am going to leave in the description all of the books listed that I read. If there is one that you are interested in hearing thoughts, I will give a spoiler-free recap and then what I thought of it, either directly responding to you, or if you'd like me to put it in a future book review, I am more than happy to just talk about this book and I will do that for you. So what I'm going to do is my bottom three and my top three. And these are not by a scholarly, this is great writing, or this is just needs to win Booker Awards or anything of that sort. It is merely how I enjoyed it or what I personally received from it as a reader, and hope that that helps inspire you to hear about it and maybe either pick it up or decide not to pick it up. So my bottom three, I will go easiest to my very worst, and then I will do my top three. So my bottom third, if you will, is actually a memoir. It's Gail Caldwell, and I hesitate to criticize something that is somebody's life story because everybody has a beautiful life and every story is worth telling. I just wasn't connecting to it. This is a story of a woman who is kind of small town Texan, so I thought that I would relate, which I appreciated a lot of the background. I appreciate a lot of things about the book, but she's very much the free spirit, go off on an adventure of feminism and kind of that almost hippie-ish lifestyle, seeking out travel and trying to find herself. And really, I just feel like I probably didn't have the exact same values or make the same choices, and I just didn't enjoy the ride because of that. But if that sounds like something you would enjoy, by all means, it's a very sweet telling of someone's story. Coming in secondly of books that I didn't really connect with or resonate with, and I'm kind of sad about, Ann Tyler's Back When We Were Grownups. I really wanted to be getting into Ann Tyler. She has a lot of character stories and developments. This one is a woman who's kind of middle-aged, raised her family, made her life choices, and is now kind of reflecting on that and looking over some of the roads not taken, if you will. And it's not heavy plot driven, it is character, which I generally like, but this one just didn't really, again, connect with me or my values or feel like I was really getting a lot. It wasn't as much fun for me. But if that's maybe where you're at in life, maybe it would be. I also didn't fully resonate with The Accidental Tourist, which is another one of her really popular ones. I like it, just didn't love it. I've already purchased from a used bookstore this Dinner at the Homesick Restaurant, which I think maybe this is the book that I'm going to really connect with the characters and really appreciate her writing. So we will see. I think this one is about brothers and sisters that are banding together, having grown up in a very troubled household, and then trying to reconnecting with one another and the world and coming out of that situation. So maybe, we'll see. Stay posted. Which brings us to my least favorite book that I read in the past 21 books. And that sadly was The Watchmaker of Filigree Street, Natasha Pulley. So this is a book that by all accounts I should love. I can't remember who recommended this to me. You were correct in thinking that this would be my premise of a book. It has a magical element where there's a mysterious person who is creating these inventions, including a mechanical octopus. And the watches themselves have special significant abilities that are very mysterious. So we start out with a man who receives a watch, doesn't know kind of its backstory or where it came from, and it ends up the alarm goes off. He leaves because the alarm is going off. He can't get it quieted, and it ends up saving his life. And then he goes on this quest looking for its origin, what happens. Very interesting, very wanting to follow along that plot, but it kept on having pace issues for me. I kept wanting certain things to be explained, and it was jumping around to parts that I was less interested in. And then at the very end, I just felt like a lot of the ending was very kind of cringy. Again, probably just not my exact where I wanted it to go. And then when it went there, it was disappointing. Just an unsatisfying ending for me personally. So I can't recommend it, even though it's so creative and such an interesting plot premise. Very disappointing. I'm so sad. So in my top 3 most enjoyed books of the 21 that I've read in the past couple months, coming in at number 3, I read Erin Morngenstern, The Starless Sea. This actual literal book was my mother. She read this book and really, really enjoyed it. So it was extra special to me to actually have a book that she had read that I'm now reading. My mother passed a couple years ago now, and she was an English major, very, very passionate about books. That's where I kind of get my passion for books. So if you like stories of labyrinths of mystical book and hidden worlds and those kind of things, like the Piranesi kind of stories, this is another one of those where it is mystical. You are following a character that is in this world, trying to discern who the characters are, what the quests are supposed to be, trying to figure out this kind of dreamlike landscape. And I really did enjoy a lot of the connections and backstory. It's a little slow, a little hard to get into, a little mystical reading, but when you're up for something like that, I think this is really well written. I think that Erin Morngenstern does a beautiful, superb job of world building and fantasy world building. I love the Night Circus. So this is the same author as Night Circus. Usually people either really, really passionately love it, like I do, or not so much. So this is another one of hers. But if you like, again, those kind of magical, mystical, kind of allegorical metaphors, then check that one out. Number 2 for me is actually, you might even call, I think this might even be found in YA, John Green's Looking for Alaska. This is the same author that wrote Fault in Our Stars. Just really, really brilliantly poignant, gritty writing of young adults. And this is a story of young adults struggling in school, trying to stay out of trouble, trying to come of age. But what's fascinating about this book is the first half of it literally is building up, doing a flashback, building up to the moment where a girl named Alaska is gone. And then the second half of the book, she's gone and it's going forward in time. And so I don't want to spoiler alert what's gone on in her life or what's led to this point, but that kind of gritty, raw teenagers trying to struggle through, stay out of trouble, and there's this mystery and this really unique storytelling. I totally was just there for the journey. If that sounds like a good journey that you'd like to go on, check that one out. My number 1, you're going to have to bear with me and stay with me. Don't just click off because you've got to hear me out on this. My father is a World War II buff, avid reader of all things World War II. We went to the World War II Museum recently in New Orleans. Fantastic, by the way. He said his favorite book on the Pacific side of World War II is the book that was most enjoyable for me, Nimitz at War. I audio listened to this on my drive from Virginia to New Jersey and back. And this is not a biography of Nimitz, who was overseeing all of the war in the Pacific, but is rather documents of actual letters, transcripts, and accounts of all the things that kind of went through his office. And it is well researched, well interviewed by people who were directly there. And even though I technically know, of course, the end of the outcome of the war itself, I didn't know the specific battles. I didn't know each island or each particular encounter, how it was going to end. And I was on the edge of my seat. I was just like, there were so many things that were left to what seemed like pure happenstance or fate or the Holy Spirit, just to allow things to have been the way they were. The losses were so devastating. The triumphs were so just blessed. It was amazing. And then to learn more about the actual progression, about the actual responses, about what was going on. Super good, super engaging, lots of personal detail, lots of individual letters and thoughts, including a lot of Nimitz's letters back to his wife. Just outstanding. If you have any interest in World War II and specifically learning more about the Pacific side, you really should check this out. I do recommend the audio, although my dad read the book and said there's lots of pictures and he really enjoyed reading it. So there you have it, my least enjoyable of the 21 and my most enjoyable of the 21. What are you reading? What of these have you read or want to read now? Look in the books that I read, see if there's any that you would like to hear about. Otherwise, stay tuned. I continue to read and look forward to catching back up and being more timely in my reviews for next month. Hope y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Happy reading, y'all. Take care.